Okay, I'm standing here in Dallas Recycling, and as you can see, got 1, 2, and we got 3. We got lines and lines and lines. Here we got the sun, and here the sun is getting a little swath of chemtrails, and out there in the distance we got another one, and there is Southwest Airlines. I mean, it's pretty tiring, isn't it, to look at this toxic shit coming out of them. And we didn't consent to this. It's just being done right in over our heads. So I really wonder who's behind this. I mean, there's got to be some very higher power, because people are putting up with it. I mean, no one can actually say that this looks normal, right? I mean, maybe if you grew up with it, but if you are 30 years old, you would know this is not right. Absolutely not. And just keep going. And keep going. And they pretty much just started on it. It's been beautiful all day, and now you see this milky mist in the sky now. This baby blue color is beginning to emerge. It's pretty sickening. Over and out.
Well, hello out there. Well, you just saw a little intro, and that's from last week. Well, I'm going to do a report on each week what I see out there. And I just entered Oklahoma here. I can't remember what weekday this is. Yeah, it will be on March 6th at 4:19 p.m. Central Time. And I was thinking, maybe when we see these lines in the sky, maybe that is because of the sun. It is laying it out here, or this is the incoming waves from space, or maybe it's ground-based devices that is doing this work. I don't know. It's yet to be found out how that is working. But what I notice first of all is here we have a chemtrail plane right there, all of a sudden breaking course, and yet I see in the corner of my eye, all of a sudden, see if you can get it over there. Let's zoom out a little. Oh, that ain't working too well. That is shitty. How can we do that? I can't get it over. Well, nonetheless, as you see there, up in the corner here, we got 4 planes coming in, and that is a rare sight. And I've only seen that once, and that was back in Indiana. But unfortunately, I did not have my camcorder with me, so I couldn't record what they were doing. So this I find pretty disturbing to watch. 4 planes on the same course, pretty much, crossing in over each other, as you see, flying in formation. And of course this one is already beginning to you know, spread out. So I'm gonna give you a little video of these 4 planes doing this spraying, and it's pretty astounding if you ask me. What's going on? Well, I need to shut the recording down. It didn't want to. And as you can see, that looks pretty ghastly, right? And we can take a look here too. You can clearly see them and how they're spreading out. But that's a rare sight, seeing 4 planes going like this. So let's just run them over. I got 7 of these, and then I got a little video to put in where we can see the development, and this is pretty much how it looks. And they were extremely busy on this day spraying the crap out of Oklahoma. I mean, they got a swath, but you can see here how they already now they're deviating from their original path. These are still right there, are following each other, but these two is moving away. So what's going on later down on the sky? Of they're still following each other, or they are stopping their spraying? Well, I don't know that, but I can find out. No, I cannot. But I would assume they will keep going for a while, and maybe they will return and do another swath, but at that moment in time they will be behind me, so I wouldn't be able to see it, because I'm going to Muskogee at this point in time. And here's the video, the second sequence of it.
This is bloody insane. Look at this stuff. 4 planes flying right next to each other, pretty much. The same path, same direction. 4 planes. I once saw that in Indiana, but I didn't have a camera, but I do today. Look at this crap. Is that excessive or what? I mean, they need to lay some chemtrails out, that's for sure. Some serious chemtrailing. This is nuts. This is the second time in my life I see this. This almost looks like an air show, right? Pretty much. Bloody insane. I'm gonna lose track of it now, because the road is turning. It's okay. I got it in pictures and I freaking got it on tape. This is sick. And we did not consent to this. Did we? No.
And as you can see, that is not a pretty sight, right? It looks like they are freaking busy. There's something either they are behind, or maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe the sun, the rays is coming in a higher velocity and more harmful wave than usual, and that's something they can spot. But yesterday I also received an email that I can't remember his name, but he said that he has actual pictures that our sun has been replaced by the craft Nibiru, which I also, in one of my videos, there will be a link, the top link will be that video, that Nibiru is not a planet, it is a spacecraft, and it is a craft that is housed and controlled by the fallen ones, the fallen angels, the demons, the bastards, those who are in control of this planet right now. And Lucifer was the leader of worship in heaven, and that entails music, and you can see how Lucifer in music industry today got extreme influence. It's called so-called Illuminati, but he's also the ruler of the air, and what's going on in the air is that we are being sprayed to pieces, and whoever controls the sky controls the ground. That's an old military strategy. If you can control from above, it's very difficult to hit you, but it's easy for them to hit you. So this is what it looks like a little later. It's not pretty by any means. Well, I'm pretty darn tired of looking at it, but what can I do? I don't control the sky. I'm on ground, being sprayed like a roach. And you can see here this haze, this chemtrail haze, which is in the atmosphere, and it makes the sun look like it's humongous. Or maybe that is because if they did not haze out the atmosphere, maybe if this guy is right what he's saying, that our sun has been replaced, meaning the light has been replaced by an artificial light, meaning this craft, and in order to maintain that it's not going to be visible, that it's not really our sun but something else, they are forced to do this chemtrailing. And this is still in Oklahoma, still on my way to Muskogee. And here I arrived to Muskogee in Oklahoma, and this is Georgia Pacific, which makes paper towels and diapers and so on. And these wet surface coolers here, you are seeing them in bigger numbers appearing all over the landscape in the United States. I don't know about Europe and Asia and so on, but they are actually sprouting up here and there, and they are a great contributor of steam, meaning more vapor in the atmosphere, more cloud manufacturing, if you like, and that gives them a material to work with in order to play with the weather and create havoc. And as far as I know, controlling the weather in 2025 report, it is the military-industrial complex intent to be able to conduct a war against any nation without firing a shot, but using weather as a multiplier, and thereby subdue their enemy and force them to do their bidding. And I'm pretty sure that is already taking place, that so-called nations that is in interest of America. I'm not talking about negative about America itself, but there's a group of people in the military-industrial complex and the so-called behind the scenes, behind the curtain, that is controlling all this, and we bloody letting them, and they're only a little handful, and we're not defending ourselves against it, and we know who they are. They call the Bilderbergers. We got the names of every single one of them, and nobody is doing anything about it. I'm not talking about violence, but citizen arrest, because what they're doing is illegal, and it is an illegal secret organization, and it's been around since the time of dawn, pretty much, this evil group of people, with the top notch of them is the Rothschilds. And yeah, enough of that. And we got more chemtrails. This is still in Muskogee, and it doesn't look any different than it usually does. And on this image here you can see that we have emerging clouds coming out of nowhere. The sky is blue, and all of a sudden this little is beginning to show up, and the sky is beginning to be more and more cloudy looking, as you can see here very clearly that they are appearing. And again, these fanned out chemtrails, I don't know if that is because of frequencies from the outside, from the so-called Nibiru craft, or land-based NexRad transmitters. I don't know. And again, we see this typically on our sky. There's a patch of clouds, and there's no clouds around, but that's just this little patch, and for some weird reason they're just there, and I don't know why, what is the point with it. But you can clearly see that they are having kind of like they're moving or having a shape, like it's a frequency that you are actually seeing with the naked eye. It's a sound that you can't hear, but the sound is manifesting on the particulates, and then you can see the waves here, which in this case, if I should determine what kind of wave we're looking at right there, that would be a sinus curve. And what frequency level, velocity, I don't know. Can't measure it, but you can clearly see it. They are very uniform. They are always kind of following the same pattern, and if you pay attention to that out there, you can see that it is persistent. on a daily basis of when they're out spraying that it kind of looks the same, and this is what really pisses me off to see sprouting up everywhere again, and that is bloody fracking, putting toxic materials down into the ground, which comes into our groundwater, our drinking water, tap water, and that is some 500 different chemicals. Some of it is uranium, lead, mercury is in it too, and there's a lot of other ingredients in that fracking fluid they're putting in the ground to extract the natural gas. It should completely be banned because it's toxic, and it also increases the risk of earthquakes. And again, a little blurry, but this kind of looks like a ship, doesn't it? Yeah, I just thought it did. And maybe this one is not blurry, but it kind of looked like a craft cloaked as a cloud. You can clearly see these lines here and following. It looks like a craft, to be honest. But I can't prove it is, but it does look like a craft. And we got more of this fiddlyhood here, and more X marks the spot. This is where I live. I had to go out and buy a new laptop. I was home picking up my CD for my XP, because my old laptop, all of a sudden it just collapsed. The partition in the control system just disappeared all of a sudden. I don't know why, it just vanished. And I tried to reinstall so I could keep continuing recording my driving out there, and that didn't work out too well. So I got a new one with, this one is working brilliant. It's working real good, very good. And the time of day and the date is on the 7th of March at 1:57 Central Time PM. So that's how it looks, and here was once a fracking station, and that is right next to where I'm living. So maybe one day I'll have a sinkhole or ground shift and our house is getting off the foundation or something. I don't know. I'm just pissed tired of these fracking stations popping up everywhere. And I don't know, I just took a picture of it. Maybe that was on the DFW airport. I don't know, but it is in Texas. And again, we are in Wiley, Texas. I think I'm going west at this moment. Chemtrails, more chemtrails, this soup of crap. And again, you see this uniform pattern of, you see the squares in here. See, they're going this way and they're going that way, and that's not normal. And anybody with just a tad of brain cell, unless you are a snowflake, would understand that this is not natural at all. And it's kind of like, this is very uniform, but if you look at this as a whole, you see there's all kinds of different things in the sky looking very distinct, different from each other. And anybody except snowflakes and libtards would understand that this is not normal. And if you get off your flipping phone for once and look at the sky and think about it, you will realize that it looks like that Earth has been captured and brought to another place, that we're no longer on this planet, but we are on some kind of duplicate planet, because what the heck is this crap? And this is in the morning. I'm going somewhere on 820 Expressway, and it's not looking pretty. Got rainbows in the sky, and again we got crap in the sky. More of it, more of it. And how many times don't we see a sunset like this? Pretty often. I do, because I'm driving out there. This is I-35 South. I'm on my way to San Marcos, down to where all the drunks and drug addicts are living, as I've been told. I would say that Live PD should go down there and do a little raid and see how many they can pick up of drunk drivers, because when you're driving in San Marcos on 35, you need to be freaking careful, because they're not driving, they're doing whatever they kind of spontaneously think is a good idea. So this is a sunset I see so many times, like a million, or almost in all the time I've been in America. I've seen sunsets like this pretty much every day, and it's not pretty, beyond pretty. Ugh. Nasty, right? Look how it's just flaring up in the chemtrails. It's not normal. This is me leaving North Crest, just north of Waco, one morning, going to New Braunfels in Texas, and this is what it looks like in the morning. It's a little blurry because the camera is not fast enough, but you can see that the chemtrails is already there, and for some weird reason it looks like, okay, this is gonna be a sunny day combined with some chemtrails, and that's a street lamp, not a UFO. And all of a sudden, this light, as you see here, and now it looks like now the sun is breaking the horizon, and now we can begin to see the chemtrails more clearly. And all of a sudden, poof, it's like the sun went away. And now I'm on 130 toll road on my way down there, and we got a little bluish up there, and we of course got chemtrails to close that hole, and that's the sun, apparently. I'm not kidding you, that's apparently the sun. Pretty much non-existent. And some more of it, and some more of it, and you see again you got these squares in the clouds. Not normal. And again, and then there's those people that says the earth is flat and there's no such thing as satellites. Now this is in Austin, no, this is Lockhart on 130 toll road going south. Now, you smart ding-dongs out there, why the hell are these satellite dishes pointing to the sky if there is no satellites existing? That is all just a hoax. Can you care to explain that to me? Why are they pointing in that direction? That means they're pointing out to flipping space where there is a satellite either receiving or sending. Can you see that? Which direction are they pointing? Up into the sky. So there's something up there that is receiving and transmitting signals, frequencies. Hello? And we got some more. This is still on 130. And we got some more of it. And we got some more of it. And it's beginning to get tedious, right? More of it. Look at all these different patterns there is mixed in between each other, going in all kinds of directions. This is not possible in normal cloud formations. And here all of a sudden the whole sun is getting huge, this black massive flare up, and minutes later it looks like that, and that, and that, and again we see they're going in all directions, these chemtrails. It's not possible for normal cloud formation. And some more of it, and some more of it. It's ugly, isn't it? This is what we're being forced to live under. And here we got a spiral chemtrail line going over the sky in front of the sun, and here we got a sky serpent, a little squirt coming out of that plane, or what the heck they're spraying, what instrument they're using. Maybe it's not even planes, maybe it's them, the enemy from outside this realm, that is actually doing the spraying, but they're camouflaging themselves as airplanes. And here I got a classic example of West Texas, where you can clearly see in the rock formation here that all the rocks are shattered, and that's from the former asteroid impact that created the Gulf of Mexico. So if you take a close look at West Texas and the ground and the rocks, you can clearly see that something momentous has taken place, because the rocks are simply just crumpled. They're just barely hanging together. And this is on US 87 going to Brownwood, Texas, and that's what it looks like. And out here we got a hill, but this is in reality an ancient tree stub, because in the old times, when there were more oxygen on the planet than we have today, plant life, animals, were larger and lived longer. And we got numerous of these kind of hills out in the west part of Texas. As you see, this is an ancient tree stub. Someone cut it down, and we got some more of this mix in between each other. I don't know how they do it, but it's just plain ugly. And more of it. There's a little fuzzy, but you can still get an idea of what it looks like. And again, all kinds of directions, right? I mean, what the heck? That is so pretty, right? I think I'm on 35 going north on my way back from, I don't know, San Antonio, New Braunfels, somewhere. And some more of it, and some more of it, and some more of it. It's not pretty, right? And again, chemtrails in all directions, following a distinct pattern, and we see it again and again and again. It's a never-ending story. And here, that was Saturday, I was on my way to New Braunfels to Walmart, DC, and I don't know if they died, but it didn't look like at the scene to be busy with doing anything. I think that the driver and maybe passenger on the front seats lost their life on this one, because it's completely crushed. It is sad to see. I hate seeing this stuff out there, and I see it a little too often in Texas. And again, we got more of it and more of it. A patch of cloud just right there. I mean, what is that line? See that? Distinct line. And some more patch and some more crap. Sunset. Okay. Me coming back from New Braunfels. And now we back in Oklahoma. And that was the end of this presentation from Chemtrails last week. Over and out, and God bless you out there. And keep an eye on the sky, for crying out loud. Take some pictures, send them to me. I'll be glad to show them if you got something very interesting like this, 4 chemtrails in a row. Okay, that's it.